After many years of blue balling, Silksong is finally out. One of the more anticipated releases for a lot of people, but not for me. Not because I don't like Hollow Knight, but because I still haven't played it. Surprising, I know. However, this game is one of my most anticipated releases, after having played the demo during one of the Steam Next Fest last year. Blade Chimera, a cyberpunk metroidvania made by Team Ladybug, who have made metroidvanias before, such as Shin Megami Tensei Synchronicity Prologue, which I have downloaded but not really touched, Touhou Lunar Nights, which I've played and enjoyed, but didn't get too far into it, mainly because my Games Pass trial had run out, and also they removed it from Games Pass, and Record of Lord's War, D-Lit in Wonder Labyrinth. This one I did finish and really enjoyed. However, as you might have noticed, Team Ladybug's previous Metroidvanias have all been based on already well-known IPs. With Blade Chimera being their first original one, I was pretty excited to see how it would turn out, and it did not disappoint. 30 years after the appearance of demons on Earth, a group called the Holy Union is created to protect humanity and exterminate these otherworldly threats. You play as Shin, an amnesiac demon hunter working for the Holy Union, who has certain reservations regarding their methods. During an investigation, Shin is attacked by a titanic demon, but is saved by Lux, a sword demon with time powers, who partners up with Shin. As he continues his job, Shin begins to further question the Holy Union after he is tasked to kill the Peacemakers, a guerrilla group who oppose the Holy Union's ways regarding the treatment of demons. Soon, Shin finds out that things are not so black and white as things begin to unfold. I'll admit, not the best summary I've written, but there isn't much I could say without giving away massive spoilers. While I did enjoy the story, it's not exactly original. There are a lot of story beats and messages here that will seem very familiar, and even predictable and cliched at times. Still though, it's not a bad story. I mean, it could have done with a bit more refining, try and develop some of the characters a bit more, but it's fine for what it is. As a Metroidvania, Blade Chimera feels really nice to play, as expected with Team Ladybug. If you've played their previous games, like D-Lit and Wonder Labyrinth, you'll know what to expect. Shin can equip 2 weapons at once, using a multitude of ranged and melee weapons. Obviously, you'll want to equip one of each, but you can double up if you want to. Lux provides versatility for Shin, acting as another form of attack and grants him more movement when exploring, such as acting as a platform for Shin to climb. Lux can also activate time rifts, allowing her to recreate objects from the past, providing Shin protection from traps and attacks, or ways for Shin to traverse the map. However, as a demon, Lux is also vulnerable to UV lights. So to avoid getting a game over, Shin will have to embed Lux somewhere where she can be recalled while avoiding any UV exposure. Certain demons can shoot out red orbs, which will turn Shin into a clay doll. Originally, I thought you had to mash the attack buttons to break out, but all you have to do is hold it. Most demons can be damaged by all weapons and attacks, but spirit demons are immune to gunfire, so they must be attacked using melee or Lux. Bosses can be quite challenging, though easy to get a hang of once you understand their patterns. Leveling up grants Shin a skill point, which allows him to upgrade Lux, granting Shin more traversal options and different attacks for Lux. The traversal options are very helpful, but giving Lux more attacks can make things a lot easier, especially in the late game. A very useful skill is the ability to warp to any part of the map. Any part. If you're low on health, you can just go to the map and teleport to a save point, which I am incredibly grateful for, especially when I remember the times in other Metroidvanias I would die at incredibly inopportune times and find myself losing lots of progress. And while I understand that exploration is a major gameplay component of Metroidvanias, backtracking is one of my biggest pet peeves. So just having a full-on teleport is incredibly convenient. In addition to the main quest, there are side missions Shin can accept either at the base or at save points. Most are extermination missions, but there are some more story-based ones here and there. You can only take one side mission at a time, which is a bit unfortunate, but these quests can be done pretty quickly if you know where to look. While the gameplay is responsive for the most part, I would say that at times getting Lux to activate time rifts can be a bit fiddly. especially when there are multiple rifts near each other. The auto aim, if you choose to put it on, is accurate but can also be a bit sensitive, although it is a soft lock on. Now, as expected with Metroidvanias, there are lots of items to collect, and you'll also come across floating green puzzle pieces. These puzzle pieces will unlock yellow locked doors, which will hide some very useful items, and are also needed for the post-game boss, so make sure you keep track of what you found. While Blade Chimera is a very fun game to play, it is also relatively short, taking about 10 hours to finish the main story, 12 hours to 100% complete. Though for a Metroidvania, that's actually quite long, speaking from both my own personal experiences with the genre and also using How Long to Beat as a guide. Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise, but this game looks gorgeous. I often say a game looks good, but Team Ladybug really knows how to make a smooth and beautiful looking game. The pixel art and animations show lots of thought and care, the shading and lighting makes the color pop out, each area has their own distinct style and color palette, and I really like the character designs, and the demon designs are quite nice as well. They look familiar enough to be recognizable, but have a distinctive enough take to make them look rather unique. Overall, the cyberpunk aesthetic of the environment meshes in quite well with the traditional looking designs of the characters and demons. The music is very techno heavy, not surprising considering the cyberpunk theme, but still a very nice soundtrack with certain tracks reminding me very much of SMT. Voice acting is minimal, with certain moments having spoken lines here and there. The sound design is very crisp, especially with the weapons. For example, when firing a gun, depending on what you're shooting, you can hear the empty shells dropping onto the floor. It's a very minor detail, but it's something that I really appreciate. Overall, like I said earlier, I was not disappointed by Blade Chimera. For the most part, the game is smooth and responsive, plus I really enjoyed shooting enemies in this game. While the story is probably one of the weaker aspects of the game, everything else about Blade Chimera made up for it. The visuals and music were really nice to look and listen to. It's very easy to pick up and play, and it doesn't take too long to finish either, which is a nice change of pace as someone who not only finished Divinity Original Sin 2, but also Final Fantasy 16 back to back. The game goes for about $30 at full price, but at the time of recording it's currently $20, so I'd say it's definitely worth getting at that price. Plus, if you happen to have Bloodstained, you'll get an even bigger discount.